All right, good morning, class. We're going to start looking at Chapter 1 in your book, your Beginner's Guide to SolidWorks 2020. So this is just going to be an introduction, just basically getting to know SolidWorks before we start jumping into some parts. So we're going to familiarize you with the SolidWorks interface, so the feature manager, toolbars, and the command manager. We'll learn to use view manipulation tools, so different views like mouse, shortcuts, and the view selector, and learn different display styles, so shaded with edges, shaded, hidden lines visible, hidden lines, and then wireframe. All these are just going to be different ways to look at your 3D model. Units and dimensions, so you can set the initial unit system and dimension standards for the default templates, so any new part, assembly, or drawing template. So when you start, it'll give you a chance to either pick like IPS or MMGS, so millimeter, gram, second. IPS is inch, pound, second. So it's going to be American standard. And we're going to have drawings in both. So we're going to do some drawings that are in inches and some that are in millimeters. So you'll get to do both. The dialog box appears the first time you open a template, and you can select from all these, so IPS, MMGS, CGS, and then MKS. Most of the mechanical parts that we're going to do are either going to be IPS or MMGS, so either in inches or in millimeters. And then the dimensions we'll either use ANSI or ISO, and most of the time it's going to be in the ANSI standards. So there's your menu bar, so you can see that's up top, your number 1 where it says File, Edit, View, Insert, Tools, Window, and Help. 2 is going to be your toolbars, right, so your different tools. 3 will be your command manager, where you actually pick a command to use. 4 will be your configuration manager, how the part is configured, your parents, your children, and we'll learn about those as we go. 5 will be the property manager, so what properties do you have on the part or assembly that you've modeled. 6 will be some selection breadcrumbs, and we'll learn what those are. So if you're doing assembly, a part, extrusion, something like that. 7 will be your feature manager's design tree, so you can see how everything's kind of laid out, what order it was done in. Or that's the filter, I'm sorry. 8 is your feature manager design tree, so that's going to tell you how everything's laid out. On this particular example, they have the different parts that are part of the assembly. And then 9 will be your status bar. The mouse commands, so if you want to rotate your part, you drag with the middle mouse button or the wheel in there. So to rotate about a vertex, edge, or face, middle click a vertex, edge, or face, and then you can middle drag the pointer. Pan, you can hold down Control and drag with the middle mouse button in an active drawing. You do not need to hold down Control. So and then zoom in and out, you can hold down Shift and drag with the middle mouse button. And these will just probably take 5 minutes of just playing around with them, practicing, and you'll really get the hang of it. Wheel types, so these, if they have the wheel on there, so rotate view, you can hold down the wheel and move it to rotate, and then the same thing to rotate about a vertex, edge, or face. Wheel click the vertex, edge, or face, then hold down the wheel and drag. And then for zooming in and out, you can spin the wheel forward and backward, and then while spinning the wheel, keep the pointer on the area where you want to zoom. So if you put the pointer over to the side of the part and you zoom in, it's going to zoom in beside the part. So you want to make sure you keep it, zoomed in on the part. So keep your pointer on the part. When you zoom in, it'll zoom into wherever your pointer is. Mouse gestures. So you can use mouse gestures by right dragging in the graphics area to access a pre-assigned tool or macro from the drawing part, assembly, or sketch. So you can see the little wheel there. So when you right click and you drag, you'll get that to come up. So what that's showing you is top view, side view, bottom view, and left view. So you can enable or disable mouse gestures, set the number of mouse gestures to 2, 3, 4, 8, or 12. That will appear on there. So on the top one, you can see that there's 4. On the bottom one, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So all 12. So that's what it will look like full. If you set the number to 2 gestures, you can orient them vertically or horizontally. By default, mouse gestures are enabled, and display four gestures in the mouse gestures guide. To enable or disable mouse gestures, with the document open, you'll click on the tools and then customize, and on the mouse gestures tab, you can select clear enable mouse gestures, to uncheck it. To set the number of mouse gestures in the mouse gesture guide with the document open, click tools and customize, and then you can select the number of mouse gestures. It'll give you a little menu. You can also customize the mouse gesture assignments through a visual drag and drop user interface, so you can put what commands you want actually on the mouse gestures. So here, on the bottom one, you can see, measurement, circle, linear, dimensions, rectangle, line, text, all the commands that they probably use more often. Drag tools from a list of commands to any of the following guides. So if you drag tool to an empty position, the tool is added to the gesture guide. If you drag a tool to the occupied position, it replaces that tool. And if you control drag a tool from one gesture guide position to another, it is copied to the second position. You can copy a tool within one gesture guide as well as across gesture guides. So watch a video demonstrating some of these so you guys can kind of see them in action.
Welcome to Beginner's Guide to SolidWorks 2020 User Interface lesson. By default, the SolidWorks menu is automatically hidden. Hover the mouse to display it and select the different menu options. Open the Model Views part to continue. On the left side, we can see the Feature Manager design tree where all model features are stored. Selecting a feature displays a context toolbar with available commands. If we right-click on the same feature, we will also see an expanded list of commands available. Select Edit feature to review some common controls. We can open and close sections, value spin boxes, drop-down selection lists, buttons to enable or disable command options, and checkboxes. Every command has an OK and cancel commands, and some include an on-off button to preview the final result. Select Cancel to continue. Activate the menu bar and click on Keep Visible to maintain the menu bar visible at all times. To show or hide a command toolbar, you can select the menu View, Toolbars, and toggle the visibility of the selected toolbar. Alternatively, you can also right-click on any toolbar to toggle the visibility of a selected toolbar. Command toolbars can be shown or hidden using either approach. The Command Manager consolidates multiple toolbars in a single location and can be activated by selecting their tab. To add or remove tabs, right-click on a tab and select or deselect the desired Commands tab. To change the model's orientation, select the View Orientations command and select the desired orientation. A preview will be displayed. Select the different orientations as indicated. The model's orientation can also be changed using the default SolidWorks shortcuts: Ctrl+1, Ctrl+2, Ctrl+3, Ctrl+4, Ctrl+5, Ctrl+6, and Ctrl+7 for an isometric view. SolidWorks includes time-saving mouse gestures that can be configured. Right-click on a toolbar and select Customize, or from the Options drop-down command. Select the Mouse Gestures tab, select the 8 Gestures option and click OK. We will use the default settings. To use the mouse gestures, right-click and drag on the screen in the direction of the desired command. While editing the model, we can change the view orientations by dragging the mouse in the direction of the desired orientation. Different modeling environments will have different commands available. Another option to change the view orientation is the view selector. Here we can select a face of the selector cube to reorient the model. A preview will be displayed before selecting a face. Pressing the Alt key allows you to select the back faces of the cube. After activating the view selector, press the spacebar to show it again with the current model orientation. To disable it, select the view orientation command and deselect the view selector. To manipulate the view orientation, click and drag using the middle mouse button to rotate the model. Press and hold the Shift key while dragging the middle mouse button to zoom in and out of the model. To pan the model in the screen, press and hold the Control key while dragging the middle mouse button. You can zoom in and out of the model using the mouse wheel and zoom in at the pointer's location. The Zoom to Fit command will center and fit the model on the screen. You can change the model's display using the Display Style drop-down command. The shaded option shows the model only without edges. Hidden Lines Removed only displays the visible model edges. Hidden Lines Visible shows the visible edges and the hidden edges in gray. Wireframe shows all model edges. The Shaded with Edges option shows a shaded model with visible edges. The Tangent Edge display style can be changed in the menu View, Display, Tangent Edges Visible, as Phantom, or Removed. Selecting a model face or edge with the left mouse button will display a context toolbar with applicable options available. Selecting a model face or edge with the right mouse button will also show a context menu with expanded command options. Welcome to Beginner's Guide to SolidWorks.
right, now we'll look at the video on how to create new part templates, change the components used as a measure, define the parts and materials so you can change it to things like wood or metal, add new templates location to SolidWorks, and save a new part template.
Welcome to Beginner's Guide to SolidWorks 2020 Part Templates lesson. Welcome to Beginner's Guide to SolidWorks 2020 Part Templates lesson. To create a part template, use the New Document command and select Part using the default part template. Select Customize from the Options drop-down command. Select the Document Properties tab and select the ANSI Detailing Standard from the drop-down list. Activate the Units section and select the inch, pound, second option. Set the length precision to 3 decimal places and click OK to finish. In the Feature Manager, right-click on the Material folder and select Cast Alloy Steel from the context menu. Open Windows Explorer and add a new folder to store the SolidWorks templates. Type My SW Templates in the folder name. Return to SolidWorks and select the Options command. From the System Options tab, select the File Locations section. In the drop-down list, select Document Templates. Click Add, browse to and select the Templates folder just made. Click OK to finish. From the Save drop-down list, select Save As. Select Part Template from the Save As Type drop-down list. Browse to select the New Templates folder. Type ANSI inch cast alloy steel in the file name and click Save. Close the template and click on the New command. Click on the Advanced button and select the My SolidWorks Templates tab. Select the previously saved template and click OK. Notice the material is set to cast alloy steel. Select the Options command and activate the Document Properties tab. Notice the standard is set to ANSI.
All right, and that concludes everything from Chapter 1. So have the assignment up for you, and let me know if you have any questions.